Okay, so to sublimate the knife, you're going to need, obviously, a knife. This is a 8-inch chef's knife. We purchased it at Myers for about $9. And you're going to need the SubliGlaze Adhesion Promotor. You're going to need SubliGlaze white base coating. And you're going to need SubliGlaze clear sublimation coating. I've already taped the handle because you don't want to get the SubliGlaze on the handle. I just taped it with masking tape. Now when you do this, we can only do one side at a time. I tried to do both sides on an old test knife, and one side has got stuck to the paper or it gets stuck to the cardboard. And even after it dries, before you cure it, it gets stuck to whatever you lay it down on. So we're just going to do one side at a time. So the first thing we're going to need to do is put the knife down and take some of this Adhesion Promoter. And I got just paper towel here. You get some Adhesion Promoter. Just get some on your paper towel, and then wipe down your knife blade. Make sure you get a pretty good coating on there. Just wipe it down, and then you let it soak for 30 minutes. Not 30 minutes, I mean 30 seconds. And what that does, it helps the white base coating and to adhere to the stainless steel knife blade. So we're going to give that about 30 seconds, and then I'll wipe it off. Okay, so 30 seconds, we're going to take another clean paper towel and just wipe that Adhesion Promoter off of the blade. Make sure there's no streaks or smudges. Okay. Now, the first thing we're going to spray on here is the white base coating. And when you spray it on there, you don't want to spray it all at once. You want several light coats. You don't want it to be running all over the place. So we're going to spray several light coats. You've got to shake your can for about 30 to 60 seconds. Make sure you get that paint, that glaze all mixed up in there. Okay, so we're going to put our first coat on. It's going to be a real light coat. Okay, there's one coat. Just let that dry. You don't have to let it dry for a long time, just enough to where when you spray the second layer on, it's not spraying all over the place. Move this out of the way so I don't get spray all over it. Okay. I did this outside because these are, they have fumes and you don't want to spray in an enclosed area. I'll wait for the wind to die down a little bit. It just picked up. But you do have to have between 50 and 70 degrees for this to stick. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and spray the second coat on. Just light coats. Let that set for a minute. Keep shaking my can, make sure it stays mixed. And then when you cannot see the knife blade anymore, the stainless on the blade, you'll know you've got enough coats on there. Right now I can still see some lettering on the blade. But you don't want to spray it all thick all at once, or it'll run on you. Put another coat on there. Just let that dry for a minute. We're getting there. I say one more coat and we'll have it. Spray on here. Okay, now we're going to let that dry for 5 minutes. And then when that dries, we'll spray on our clear coat. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes and our base coat has dried. Sasha, move. It looks nice, no runs, no streaks, nice and evenly coated. Now we need to spray on the clear sublimation coating. So I'm gonna let this shake for 60 seconds and then I'll be right back. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes since the first base coating was applied. I shook my can for 60 seconds, get the paint all stirred up in here. This is the clear sublimation coating, and we're going to put a few light coats of this over the white base coating. Let that dry for a minute. Well, not for a minute, but we'll just let it dry for a while. Okay, I'm going to apply another light coat. Let dry for a little bit. I think I'm going to do one more light coat of the clear sublimation coating. You don't need to apply as much as this as you do the white base coating. The instructions said just to put like a light layer over the white base. So I'm just going to do one more light layer, and we'll let that dry for 5 minutes, and then we'll take it to the oven so we can cure it. We'll do one more. Okay, so we'll let that dry for 5 minutes, and we'll pick it up from there. Okay, so I've removed the tape. I've gently removed the masking tape from the handle because I found if you leave the tape on the handle and cure the blade, when you peel the tape off, it'll be nothing but all sticky residue all over the handle. So you do not want to cure the blade with the tape on the handle. It's a pain in the butt, but it's more of a pain in the butt trying to remove all that sticky stuff afterwards. And another question you may have is, why didn't I just do both sides and then cure it all at once? Well, I tried that on a previous knife. So when I sprayed the one side, let it dry, turned it over, laid it down on the cardboard, and sprayed the other side, when I picked it up from the cardboard, it actually stuck to the cardboard and pulled away from the knife blade. So that is why I am doing one side at a time. So what we're going to do is let the oven heat up to 320 degrees. I have a convection oven. And then I'm going to set the knife blade on this tray right here. And I'm going to place it in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. I like to go towards the 20-minute end to make sure that it is fully cured. So we'll wait for the oven to heat up and we'll put the knife in there. Okay, like I said, the reason I didn't do both sides is because even though it's dry, it's not cured. So when I placed the knife down on my Teflon sheet and it cured, I pulled it up and it actually stuck to the sheet. So that's why I'm only doing one side at a time. So we're going to go ahead and put this in the oven like it's preheated. We're going to put it in there for 20 minutes. And then after our 20 minutes is up, I'll be back with you. Okay, we've taken the knife out of the oven and let it cool down. And looks like it's fully cured. So now we're just going to repeat the same process for the other side. And we'll see what happens. Okay, so I've repeated the process for the other side of the blade. I just untaped it, and this is the side that we cured before, and this is the side that I just sprayed, and we're going to cure that in the oven for 320 degrees for 20 minutes. And we'll see how that turns out. Okay, so the knife is fully cured, both sides. Looks really good, nice and smooth, nice and glossy. So the next, and the handle didn't melt, which is good. So the next step will be to sublimate the design onto the blade. So let's get started. Okay, so here's part 2 of this video. Here is the knife that I have sublimated, or coated with sublimation spray on both sides. And I'm going to wipe it down. And after several attempts, I finally got a good sublimation design to put on the blades. I had to figure the sizes for the blade, and these are the ones that I came up with. And this is the design that I'm going to put on each side of the blade. So what I did was I cut out those designs like this, and now I am going to attempt to tape them to this knife blade. I've already notched them out, and so I know which side goes on where. So I'm going to put these designs on here, and I trimmed it pretty close to the edges. There's a little bit of overlap, but I just wanted to make sure that you know, it covered the blade with a little bit extra. So I am going to tape these on here. I'm trying to figure out a good way to secure these. I think this will probably be the best way, is just to tape them on the edges like this. And maybe on this edge right here. Just want to be able to cover. Okay, I'm going to put another one on this side. That's why I didn't, that's why I just taped so it overhung just a little bit, not too much. I didn't want it creasing up on me. And I'm going to continue to tape this in various places. That way it's good and secure on the blade. Getting there. This tape dispenser is a lifesaver. Trying to cut with scissors would take forever. Just keep on taping it. Put another one right here. Never have too much tape, right? Okay, and then we'll get this end. Hopefully this works. This is the first time I've attempted this, so this is kind of a learn as you go process. I'm hoping that it turns out well. I mean, I really am. Okay, so I've got it taped on there. Now, what I was wondering is, I can't shrink wrap it, so I need to apply more pressure. So what I came up with in my mind was taking some of this blue painter's tape and using this to apply the pressure that I need to the blade. So I'm just going to run it like this. That. I think I'm going to put a piece of tape up here to stop this from sliding off. Here we go. Put one on each side. So I see it's already slid down a little bit. Put on that side. There, that'll stop it from sliding down. So I'm going to put another strip of painter's tape on here. Try not to get it on the handle because this sticky stuff is hard to get off. the handle. Okay, so this is what I got on this side. And I'm gonna do my best to fold it around the knife blade. And I'm hoping this will help keep the sublimation design pressure on the blade so it will transfer nicely. I don't really want it on that handle, so it will stick on there and it won't come off. Okay, I'm going to take another piece right here. And set it right there on this side. This. I'll wrap it around a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so I've got all this tape on here. I'm hoping that will work in place of shrink wrap. Keep that. Okay, so I've got this taped the best I can. Just gonna wrap it over there like that. Make sure we're good and tight. I might put a little piece right here where around the edge here, just so that pulls together. Okay, got this on there as tight as I can get it. Now I am going to put it in the convection oven, and I'm going to put it in there for 350 degrees for 5.5 minutes. And I'll take it out and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so I've just taken the knife out of the convection oven. I had it in there for 5.5 minutes at 350 degrees. Now I am going to peel off this wrap and see if this worked or not. I think I might be able to just slide it off. Hopefully I can do it that way. I can get this one piece off right here. Okay. And now I'm going to tear off it. There's one piece off right here, and I should be able to just slide it off like a sheath. Alright, let's try and slide this off. Alright, so here's how it turned out. This side doesn't look too bad. I mean, I still see some ghosting up here, some ghosting down there. This side is terrible. So I've got to come up with a better way to apply pressure to the blade. Once I get that figured out, hopefully we'll have a better, a better design. Okay, so go back to the drawing board and see what I can do about this pressure situation. Okay, so what I did was I put that sleeve back on that I had on earlier with the blue masking tape, and I took it to the press and I pressed it in the press for 380 seconds, or 380 degrees for 70 seconds on each side. Now that seemed to work pretty well. The only problem is in the press, it's hard to get the press up in the area by the handle. So there is some ghosting up there where I can't get the press all the way up to the handle. But looks like the press did a much better job than the convection oven. So my suggestion would be to use the press and not a convection oven. I'm going to continue to try to improve on this, but this video does show that it is possible to sublimate on a chef's knife using SubliGlaze. So if you have any comments or suggestions on how we can better improve this process, I would love to see that in the comment sections below. And if this video did help you or kind of give you some idea on how to sublimate on a chef's knife, I'd appreciate if you would subscribe and follow. And hopefully the next one that I make will turn out a lot better. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.